In previous sessions, I covered how to put together your revision timetable and how to plan what topics to do when. In this session, I'm going to talk about which revision activities you should choose to do. It's worth recapping at this point the purpose of your revision. You may have seen this sort of diagram of the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve before. It shows that our recall of learnt material drops off fairly quickly after the lesson, but also that regularly reviewing the material covered in lessons means that we remember more in the longer term. The more we revisit the content, the greater and more accurate our recall. The aim of your revision plan is to ensure that your recall of the material that you have learned is as high as possible at the time when you sit your exams. To achieve this, you must not only return to the material covered in your lessons, but also choose the most appropriate review, practice and improvement activities to maximize the benefit of revision. As mentioned in the last session, your starting point is the learning checklist for your subjects. If you're scoring topics as read, this generally suggests either you didn't learn the topic in sufficient depth or that you're struggling with interpreting what exam questions are asking you to do. To tackle this, I would suggest that you try creating knowledge organisers for factual information in the topic and use a simplified Cornell method to produce new lesson notes. If your current class notes are incomplete, you could revisit them to annotate each page and expand the content. For read topics where you're struggling to understand the exam questions, further question practice should wait until you thoroughly analyse previous exams and tests. I would recommend following the TP model for exam question analysis, as it also allows you to benefit from retrieval and process-related tasks as well. As a one-off task, you could also create a mind map of key ideas, concepts, and command words. Don't forget that videos demonstrating all the revision tasks highlighted in this session are available at the HaysTL.com website. Topics which you have marked as amber are those where you're scoring middling marks. Likely problems here are inaccurate recall of key definitions and knowledge, poor exam technique, and a lack of exam practice. Problems might also include being insufficiently thorough with preparing essay plans, not demonstrating coherency in chains of reasoning and long answer questions, or not making sufficient links with other topics within the subject. Where your understanding of the topic may be incomplete, using the full Cornell method to refresh your notes and produce index card summaries for each topic is a very powerful way to boost your recall and contextualizing of the subject. For lesson notes which are essentially complete, reviewing them to annotate, elaborate, and extend your notes will help you gain a wider understanding of your subject and aid you when applying your knowledge to novel contexts in exam questions. Using dual coding to make your brain work harder to explain topics is brilliant for your understanding of factual and diagrammatic information. Likewise, blank page retrieval is an excellent activity for improving your recall of key knowledge and connections and will also aid the accuracy of your memory. The great news about topics you've highlighted as green in your learning checklist is that you are really flying high, scoring around 2/3 or more of the available marks. It may be the case that you only get some topics into the green column in the last few weeks before the exams. However, before resting on your laurels, recognise that there is still work to be done, as you need to ensure that you deliver the marks from those topics consistently. For green topics, you should be looking to extend and link your understanding to other topics within the subject and beyond. Again, the full Cornell method can help here, as can reading academic and technical material around your subject, which can be used to elaborate, extend, and link your lesson notes. Your blank page retrieval task of green topics should be reliably showing that you can recall most of the knowledge, processes, and applications relating to the topic. It is only with green topics that I would recommend that you make question and answer flashcards and move on to interleaved and spaced testing. Practice activities. The short message here is that questions are always worth completing in your practice sessions. These questions could be from textbooks, revision guides, or from real exams. You should be aware that old exam papers are available on the exam board websites and that you can download them easily and for free. Your teachers may also have packs of old exam questions you can access. And don't forget that although each exam board may cover the subject slightly differently, a lot of the content will be the same. This means that once you've exhausted all the questions from the exam board used by Hays, you can benefit from using exam questions from another board. For red topics, however, I would recommend that you concentrate on review activities and textbook or revision guide questions for practice until you can move them into the amber column. At this point, you can start including exam questions in the practice sessions for these topics. For green topics, you should be attempting harder exam questions and carefully analysing the questions and your answers. As mentioned in the previous session, you should revisit your learning checklist regularly and mark improvements in topics on your revision tracker. In the next video, we'll cover what to do in your improvement sessions.